Guess what, cousin? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, me lover. Thursday. It's Tuesday. What you gonna say? Put some lotion on? Okay. Tuesday is magic. Tuesday is love. Tuesday is sexy. It's all of the above. It's Tuesday. I love you, Tuesday. I'm always high.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. Today's episode is brought to you by Neutral Vodka Seltzer. Made with vodka, seltzer, and real juice. It's Neutral, the one with the umlaut. It's Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. Feels good to have a title sponsor. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
It's title sponsor Tuesday.
Next to him is the bearded one, Matasha Hotboy. That's Trey Kirby. Hey-o. And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, it's Eshua and JD.
Hello.
What's up, guys? What's up? Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Like the vid, please subscribe. Get any and all of your No Dunks merch over at nodunks.com. On today's pod, we got lots. We're going to recap last night's action. We're going to share some must-watch NBA games as we hit the homestretch here of the regular season. We're going to talk refs when it comes to tweet of the night. But first, we have some major injury news. Reports are that the Lakers are bracing for LeBron to miss multiple weeks with this foot injury that he sustained during Sunday's game against the Mavericks. When they came back and won, he went down, he tightened up that shoe, he continued to play. But now we're hearing, Tass, multiple weeks. We don't know the full extent really of the injury yet. More tests are, pending, but it's not sounding good for Lakers fans.
Getting old sucks. LeBron played through 15 seasons at the beginning of his career, basically injury-free. Since getting to LA, 4 of the 5 seasons, he's sustained some major injuries, missed major time in years 16, 18, 19, and 20 of his career. Yeah, the old father time is undefeated. It's true. I think LeBron has got to go into his post-basketball career and defeat father time. Somehow figure out a way for us to live forever. He's got to do it. He's going to be the one to do it, I think. He's got to gather some people. Are we going to live forever? I mean, we're sort of in LeBron's age bracket.
We are not. The next generation, possibly.
There you go.
Okay, Trey. Yeah. All right.
You gotta do the tests on us.
You got some people. You know the people? Because people say it. People say that we're going to be the ones. I heard Jared Kushner say it. He's in government.
Well, then I definitely disagree.
I'm dying tomorrow then.
Yeah.
That's the case.
Well, all right. Hey, listen. I think LeBron's going to be able to try anyway. Anyway,
okay.
Hopefully he lives forever. But the Lakers' chances, I think, are dead. I think they're done. I know. We look at the Western Conference standings, and they're just behind the play-in picture, and there's teams faltering in the play-in picture right now. Your Pelicans are falling apart. Your Jazz, as much as I'm a Jazz man, they're not going to be able to sustain this with guys going in and out of the line. I guess they could get in, but I just think that they're going to find this as an excuse to not play to their capabilities. They find excuses, I think, and I don't think Anthony Davis is going to be able to hold them together for a long stretch. I think it will be multiple weeks, but who the heck knows?
What do you think here, TK, LeBron's injury and the chances that the Lakers have of obviously getting into a play-in or even into the playoffs?
Pretty much worst case scenario for the Lakers. They're starting to get it together a little bit after the trade deadline. We saw Malik Beasley win him a game. We saw Jared Vanderbilt win him a game. It's looking like a nice squad here. And then they lose LeBron for whatever multiple weeks means. There's only multiple weeks left in the NBA season. Mm-hmm. Even if LeBron misses 10 games, that'll only be a couple of weeks. 5 of their next 10 are against Western Conference play-in candidates. 4 of those other games are against good teams, whether in the Eastern Conference or way far ahead in the West. The only real gimme is the Rockets. They play them a little bit further on into March. I'm looking at the schedule. March 14th versus the Pelicans becomes like one of the biggest games on the schedule, certainly for the Lakers. Best I could do for a silver lining here is if D'Angelo Russell comes back from his injury quickly.
Yeah.
If Anthony Davis plays the way he played the second half against the Dallas Mavericks and he stays healthy, then they can play 500 basketball. which is a problem because I thought they had to play perfect basketball to get up into the 6th seed. The good news, I suppose, for the Lakers is that, like Tess said, the Pelicans are really struggling. The Thunder are struggling. The Timberwolves are struggling. The Jazz, they play hard every single night, but they've been a 500 team for a while here. So the Lakers, if they get perfect health from their other guys who tend to pick up injuries and they still get good performances from the role players they picked up, maybe they can hang on to a 10th seed. Mm-hmm. They're not even there yet, but this is exactly the worst possible thing that could have happened for the Lakers.
Especially on the heels of LeBron saying over All-Star Weekend that these are going to be the 23 of the most important games of his career, and he plays in one of them and then is now out here for an extended time. They play in Memphis tonight. We obviously know he's not playing. I don't believe D'Angelo Russell is also playing in that one, so that appears to be a loss. Anything could happen. They have a better team. If AD gets back to him balling like he was in December there, maybe they pull it out. But then their next 3 come against teams that they're battling for these Western Conference play-in spots. The Thunder can clinch a tiebreaker over the Lakers on Wednesday. The Wolves can do the exact same thing on Friday. And then Golden State can knot the season series with the Lakers on Sunday. Those are big, big games here. So it's, I guess their destiny is still in their hands here, but they're just not that great a team when LeBron usually doesn't play with them. They're 5-9 this year without him, and they're 36-62 during his complete tenure with LA. Now, those are all different teams, so you can maybe chuck that out, but not great. Not a great record. A winning percentage that's not going to get them in is what my point is. So they're going to have to play above and beyond that, and really, I think it's AD has to carry them here. And he hasn't looked incredible outside of, the odd half here or there since he came back from his own injury.
Yeah, and I said that they'll find an excuse not to play well here at the end of the season because Anthony Davis came up with an excuse in 2021 when they were injured why they couldn't beat the Phoenix Suns when they got into the playoffs. And maybe I'm poking at that one isolated incident, but he's got to be a number 1 guy for 15 games, and they have to have an above 500 record. And that hasn't happened a lot with AD teams in the past. So that's a struggle. And they have the 5th hardest schedule the rest of the way, 26th in terms of strength of schedule. That's tough. The Western Conference is tough. Maybe if you look at this with a glass half full type of approach, and you see the report that says LeBron is seeking multiple opinions. You don't usually see that in a diagnosis beforehand. So maybe it means that there's a chance that he could just basically play through injury and that it can't get worse. If multiple doctors say it can't get worse, so you can play through injury, LeBron, and these now 22 games are the most important of your career, which I find funny.
Yeah.
They're the most important part. Basically, it's like Jimmy Butler said this week, we got to get going. It's LeBron just saying, we got to get going, and we got to play well. And it does suck that the guys that they have brought in have made a difference, but the sked is tough. And everybody above them, like Zion could come back for the Pelicans, even though they are absolutely faltering. And Damian Lillard's dropping points. They're in between the Lakers and the play-in tournament right now. So there's a bunch of good teams there.
Yeah, the goalposts have probably moved here, right, for the Lakers. I think with their new acquisitions, post-All-Star break, LeBron and AD there, that they were winning some games and they were like, wow, we could probably get to the 6th seed. Like, that's the goal. Get out of the play-in. Get in there, because they're like 2.5 back, right, of the Dallas Mavericks. That's probably changed at this point. Now it's just hold on for dear life, get into the play-in, pray LeBron is back, like you said, in 10 to 12 games, whatever, we don't know, and then maybe win your way in through the play-in to then try and upset one of those best teams at the top of the Western Conference in a playoff series. But to me, it's gone from 6th seed as that's our goal, and maybe even doable, to now it's just get in.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are about 500 with Anthony Davis on the court. 18-19. They were going to have to go from the 26 game mark. They were going to have to go 16-10 to finish 500. That is 100% out the window, but they could go 8-9. I think they could play 500 basketball. Yeah. You look at the teams, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, the Warriors, they're all on the same level as the current Lakers team, even without LeBron. I think it's just incumbent on AD to show up every single night and put up 30 and 15s, basically, carry the team like he did earlier in the season when he was getting a little MVP buzz. That was a 15-game stretch, the best 15-game stretch he played this season. They need it again. So we shall see if that comes through, but I guess LeBron's just going to ask every doctor until somebody says, yeah, man, just tie it up tight and come and play.
Yeah.
That's what happened with AD, though. He got a bunch of opinions on his foot. He missed 5 weeks. There's 6 weeks left in the season.
Yeah. I mean, multiple can mean literally 2 weeks, or it could mean we don't see LeBron for the rest of the year.
Yep.
Because there's only 6 or 7 weeks left in the regular season.
And that's what happened in his first season with LA. He ended up missing the end of the year. It was a groin injury. It was a different injury. But yeah, we didn't see him. And that was the first year he missed time with a significant injury, his first year in LA.
And so the only year with the Lakers where he actually hit like a decent amount of games was the 1 year in the bubble where he got a ton of time off.
Yeah.
Or everybody got time off to rest up and get ready for the final push there down in Orlando. Right?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, that is
crazy.
right. That is right, exactly. Yeah, but he was playing, throughout the entire season, and then the bubble gave him some time off. Gave AD some time off. He had the best 2-month run of his career, for sure.
Yeah, good point. All right, let's get into some of the games from last night. In fact, we'll get to all of them because there's only 4 on. Let's start with the Knicks winning their 6th straight. They dropped the Celtics from the top spot in the NBA. I think Milwaukee has now passed them in terms of winning percentage there in the East and in the NBA. But the Knicks, they're hot. Who wants to get us started? Big takeaways from an entertaining game there. And I know we'll get to Tatum getting tossed, but what'd you think, TK?
I think the Knicks dominated this game.
They did.
It's weird to say. The Knicks were in control for the entirety of the game. They held the Celtics to 9 for 42 from the three-point line, which is kind of the story of the game. The Celtics could not hit from 3. That's one of their strengths. They can get super duper hot, but when they're missing, it gives the Knicks a chance to score pretty efficiently on offense, and then the Celtics got to come back down and try and figure something out. Turn the ball only over 11 times did the Celtics last night. That's fine, but it was the shooting that really did it for the Knicks, especially when you consider they were going to the free throw line quite a bit. 23 for 34 from the line, not a great percentage, but if you're going 34 times, you can miss a handful of them, especially when you win the three-point battle as well. But I'm impressed with the Knicks right now. They look like they've got a couple of things figured out. They've got a starting lineup, and they've got a closing lineup, and it's almost different. They basically sub in Quickly and Hart for Barrett and Grimes in the closing lineup, and the athleticism, the playmaking, and the defense that those two guys give them is an advantage for the Knicks. The Knicks got a lot better role player performances, I thought, last night than the Celtics did. The Celtics were without Jaylen Brown. That elevates Sam Hauser to a spot in the rotation. And if you look at John Schumann's clips from last night, Hauser was just getting roasted time and time again off the bench there. So great win again for the Knicks. They're up into 5th now, looking really good. The vibes are incredible, undefeated since Josh Hart showed up. This was a bing-bong kind of victory last night.
Yeah, we had wins from a couple Tier 2 teams in the Eastern Conference. We played some Eastern Conference basketball last night. The Knicks getting their win, and then the Heat beating the Sixers. I think the Knicks are a better Heat team. They're just grindier, they're younger, they're a little bit more athletic, and they've got star power at the top. I think they're just deeper. You just saw it when Brunson needed to swing it, and Randall had to swing it. Quentin Grimes working his ass off, looking good, and then Emmanuel Quickly I thought was monstrous in this game. He was so good. I know he has sort of modeled his game after Lou Williams, idolized Lou Williams as a 6-man, but he's more than that. He's a really good defensive player now, and Tibbs can play him as a starter minutes. I think that sort of masks the lack of growth from R.J. Barrett. Since I've basically mentioned every Knick, I'll mention R.J. Barrett. I think you got a decent case for Quickly as a 6-man of the year candidate. He's balling. The 23 points just really helped out. Yeah, this Knicks team is so Knicksy. Just watching last night in those 2 games, those 4 Eastern Conference teams involved there, it felt like Eastern Conference playoff ball. And I say a Tier 2 team with the Knicks here. It's clear Boston and Milwaukee are in a tier of their own. The Sixers, you can put them up there, but it feels like they're slightly back. And then it's the Knicks, really. They kind of own that Tier 2 to me. And you can throw the Heat in there and we'll get to their win. But yeah, the Knicks are... I can't believe it. I just can't believe how great they've come together. Yeah. The Cavs, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Cavs, you throw them in there, but yeah, that's the Tier 2. They have achieved everything Tibbs wanted them to. They're playing so well.
There's still a ton to be decided and all the playoff jockeying and all that, but it's like, is it starting to crystallize maybe a little bit that we are going to get a Cavs-Knicks first round series? Like, are the Knicks, like you were just saying, sort of proving that they're maybe in that tier? We think the Nets might drop off a little bit, some separation between teams below them, and the Cavs are like sort of squarely in that 4th spot. They're trying to chase the 3rd seed there and the Sixers and all that. I don't know. It feels like we're going to get Cavs Knicks, which I think would be a very entertaining first round series. I feel like you'll have people picking Cleveland. I think you'll have people picking the Knicks. You get the Donovan Mitchell story there. Ooh, New York going to have them, all that. It could be a good one. And I think we're going to get it.
One team will be disappointed to go home for sure.
Sure.
That's great. Yeah. You hear Knicks fans, because it's like our old Raptors days. Knicks fans are talking about this being the best team since Melo, since for a long time. Better even than that 21 team that played the Atlanta Hawks in a 5-game series where Trey was bowing. It's the best Knicks team in a long time. So, yeah, it feels that way. Yeah, right now they're 4-5. And then the winner would probably get the Milwaukee Bucks because they moved up to the 1 seed. But I think you can start the Giannis MVP chatter a little bit more now. If the Bucks can maintain that 1 seed, I think it makes a little bit more sense. Just because, of course, voter fatigue with Nikola Jokic and the fact that there's so many candidates because other people like Embiid, even Luka or Tatum will garner votes. The old Giannis as a default. Like people have picked him, in the ESPN straw poll, people picked him as the sort of the default guy because he's quote unquote the best player in the league. I think the MVP train can start up here because they've entered the 1 seed now with Boston's loss.
What's funny about that though is they entered the 1 seed without Giannis playing.
Yeah,
just funny timing on that one. Tatum's shooting woes, I guess, continued here. He can't hit a shot right now. 6 of 18 last night, 1 of 9 on threes. Over his last 3 games, 22 of 60 from the field, 7 of 29 from three-point range. He picked up his first career ejection last night. He was obviously frustrated with 3.5 minutes to go. He's tossed. It was his second tech, so it was sort of that variety. He said after the game, it's tough. The first one, no call. If you look, it was clearly a foul. And those are the ones that are tough. You get a tech for something that you probably were right about. On the second one, I just told him this was probably the best officiated game I've been a part of. I tried to give him a compliment. It didn't go over so well. And so he was asked about that line again. And I'm sure the reporters were like, what? He said, again, Tatum, quote, I said it was the best officiated game I've been a part of. I meant it. End quote. So sarcasm there from Jayson Tatum. And there was a 34-14 edge in free throws for the Knicks. I think not just Tatum. I think Boston was upset with the whistle they were or were not getting. I also just think he's tired and wants to go home. To Boston. They had the All-Star break, and then they've been on the road. And they pulled out that overtime game against the Pacers in a high-scoring affair. They pull out the game where he hits the 3 against the Sixers, and then this one gets away from them. He just wants to go see Deuce, is what he said, and go back to Boston. So it's a bit of stretch here where he's been on the road and they ran out of gas. But, yeah, what do you think of the ejection and his comments and the sarcasm from Tatum?
I think he had some beefs. I definitely thought a foul on the dunk where, he basically got his face pushed into the rim, had to grab on and hang on for dear life. But this happens to the Celtics. They are at heart a jump shooting team, so they can go through parts of the game where they're not taking enough free throws, I think. You even heard on the Knicks broadcast, Walt Frazier said, Knicks are getting all the calls tonight, but they've been the aggressors.
Yeah.
And the Knicks certainly were. They try and, that's the basis of their offense is getting in the lane and scoring in the paint, whereas the Celtics want to do it from outside, but he should have gotten some calls, I do think. Tatum did. He got hit on the arm on the three-pointer where he got the tech. The ball was away, so that's probably why he didn't get the call there. But I can sympathize with him thinking he should have got the call. And then, like you're saying, the real reason he got kicked out was because he sucked since the All-Star break. He can't make a shot right now, so he was frustrated. Give him the old heave-ho like Josh Hart wanted.
Yeah, get me to the showers early. The water's warm. It's hotter. Before everybody's turning it on. Ugh.
You want to be first.
Yeah, absolutely. Pressure, nice warmth.
I thought Madison Square Garden is it's got the best facilities in the game.
Does it?
I don't know. You love it so much.
I don't know. I've never been in the showers. I do like watching a basketball game there.
Yeah, I wonder if Tatum had a night out in New York, because apparently after he hit his game winner against Philadelphia 76ers, he had a night in New York that night. Went and had some fun.
Oh, sure.
But anyway, yeah, he literally, other than the game winner, he's been struggling since the All-Star break. It's totally true. And the Celtics couldn't hit a shot. They missed Jaylen Brown. But they were 10-1 coming into this game without Jaylen Brown this season, so it's not much of an excuse. But as far as the foul calls go, Jaylen gets a lot of those foul calls. As far as the foul discrepancy goes, Jaylen Brown, I think, is overlooked by myself as well as such a key player to this team, especially in first quarters. Setting the tone for that team, and it didn't happen.
Good win from the New York Knicks. Let's go to.
Hold on. What'd you think about the Jalen Brunson kick to the armpit?
Yeah,
that was pretty weird to see.
Yes,
that was very weird. He calls instantly for a review. They're like, "Yeah, let's review this thing." I guess he was sort of right. It ended up being a foul on Marcus Smart on the ground, but then Jalen Brunson picks up a tech because his leg went flailing and ended up kicking Marcus Smart like almost right in the pit, kind of in the ribs. So
he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it was a shout out to neutral. It was a win and a loss at the same time. The one with the umlaut.
You don't see him like that animated either. Yeah. Jalen Brunson.
That was weird.
And I thought you were going to ask about the throw it down Bill Walton broadcast, which seemed to be the default setting on my League Pass last night when I fired up.
Oh, it was featured.
Celtics Knicks. It was featured, and you had some guests on. You had Kevin McHale. I saw Tracy Morgan.
What?
Yeah.
Tracy Morgan?
Some guy named Mickey. Who's that? Who is that? He's
Mickey
a musician.
Hart?
Yeah.
From the Grateful Dead?
Yes, that's right.
I gotta go.
You were watching?
No, I was listening to Mike and Clyde. But man, if he had Mickey Hart, I know he had Bob Weir earlier. He's running down the whole list.
He really
of
is.
Dead guys, I love it.
All his buds. Did you watch any of the Walton?
Yeah, I watched the pregame opening where Bill Walton dunked on a 7.5-foot net. Like it was barely over his head.
It was very low.
It wasn't even 8 foot, and he dunked on it. And then it's Jason Benetti, his co-host.
He kept blocking him.
You tried to, the joke was, I'm taking it in on Bill Walton. It was a smooth transition. A lot of those times those basketball segments can be awkward. But anyway, Bill was blocking the crap out of him. Mm-hmm. Bill, with 39 surgeries that he's undergone, as he said, 39 orthopedic surgeries, was blocking the crap out of Jason Benetti on an 8-foot net. I don't know what that one was. There was 2 nets. He had 2 rims. Like within the distance between you and Trey.
Very close.
They're so funny.
I was really enjoying it. I was like, because again, it like just popped up when I was just picking the game. I was like, oh yeah, right, I'll watch this for a bit. And then I was dying laughing. I mean, it's Bill Walton just going off about the most insane things, and they have a funny rapport. But then I turned it off actually when they brought Kevin McHale on, and not because of Kevin McHale. He's just as funny as Bill Walton. The delay, two old men trying to talk through Zoom. It's not a great experience. There was so much like, you go, no, okay, you go, and they're trying to tell us. I was like, I can't watch this. I gotta actually watch the game here a little bit. So.
It's the opposite of Zoom.
I think you're muted, Kevin. You're muted.
It was so bad. It's just, I mean, anybody, it's awkward, but 2 old guys especially. So anyway, they do their like little highlights, like best moments. So you can go check that out on YouTube if you want. Okay. Let's move to the other powerhouse Eastern Conference game, like you said, Tass. Jimmy Butler's acrobatic layup helped the Heat get past the 76ers in a very close game. I guess that was the game winner in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it was, even though it came like with a decent amount of time left. Takeaways from the Heat outlasting Philadelphia.
The Miami Heat, such an interesting team. They're so gritty, and you don't want to count them out because of this grittiness on the defensive end. They were on a string. They're playing zone against Joel Embiid and all these bodies showing. They were playing really hard defensively, and it was the classic, the Hart defense or the Longs defense. It contracts and extracts, and it was fun to watch. At the same time, they need games from supporting players that aren't going to do it every night, I don't think. You got a Gabe Vincent game, a good Gabe game, the Triple G. He was great, hitting his first couple shots, 14 points. Kevin Love comes in, and I love the way Eric Spoelstra is using him, and they're starting him. But they're not playing him a ton of minutes. He only played 21 minutes in this game and was good in his minutes. You saw the classic outlet pass. You saw a couple threes go down. You got Cody Zeller coming out of nowhere. Old Cody. Even
looking like Brian Cardinal, as John Hollander tweeted.
Like Brian Cardinal.
He pinned Joel Embiid.
Yeah, that was a huge block.
Cody Zeller. Does he look like John Hollinger?
That guy's 30 years old.
Yeah.
Cody Zeller's only 30?
30 years old.
He must wear a lot of hats. That's the only way that makes sense. He
definitely wants a short roll beanie off the court.
They picked up a couple guys, and Kevin Love and Cody Zeller, that other teams didn't want. I mean, Cody Zeller hasn't been playing all season long. Literally on the broadcast, Brendan Haywood, who was on the call, said, "I've seen Cody Zeller at Lifetime Fitness." I mean, the Lifetime, he says he lives in Charlotte. They both live in Charlotte. I've seen him at Lifetime Fitness. Does that mean he works out or he's post-NBA career? I guess a little of both. I mean, he's got a job, and he pinned Joel Embiid.
That was huge.
All that to say, they're hoping and just dreaming that these guys that they bring in are going to contribute a lot to this team. And maybe this is the year that a buyout guy really contributes something, because you got Kevin Love starting, you got Russell Westbrook starting. You don't usually see buyout guys starting. But I just...
Patrick Beverley, tuna.
Patrick Beverley of the Chicago Bulls. I just don't know if all these guys can contribute enough. And obviously Kyle Lowry coming back would be helpful, and they're desperate. They're throwing Tyler Hero in the starting lineup. I'm just not buying it. I'm just not buying the Heat as a contender. That's all I got to say. Although this was a great, gritty win for them, and they did a great job on Joel Embiid. Even though Embiid had a good game, you limited him to what he was doing out there with the zone defense, and you could see Spoelstra putting in a game plan, but are they going to get enough offensively?
Of all the first-round opponents the Sixers could see, though, this is the one they'd want to see the least, the Miami Heat, I would think.
Sure.
The way they play them. They always play them strong. They always play them well. I don't know if it's the Jimmy Butler, having played there and all that, but this would be the one they'd have the lowest on their list as a potential second or third seed, whoever they would see there in that matchup, I think, in the first round, because they play them well. Any takeaways from this one?
You're absolutely right, Skeets. It's all part of Jimmy Butler's long-term plan to lure Joel Embiid to the Miami Heat. Got to beat him every single time to prove that you need to come here to join up with me. That's why the Heat haven't made any good trades in the past couple of seasons. Just wait. Just wait for it. But Jimmy, you could tell, wanted this game. 2 bad losses for the Heat over the weekend. The one against the Bucks, the one against the Hornets.
Yep.
This game meant a lot more to Miami, and Jimmy was everywhere. 4 steals. I thought he was just wreaking havoc defensively. The game-winning layup. Oh, what an incredible shot. That was a Michael Jordan kind of layup. I don't know how he even got that to the rim. As for the Heat, or the Sixers' last possession, interesting stuff, I thought. 2-man game. Embiid and Harden. Yeah. Embiid has the post up on Bam. Bam is a strong guy. Takes the bump a couple of times. A double. He dishes it to Harden. A good look. Not a lot of time, though, for Harden to get the shot up. Obviously, Jimmy is closing out really hard because he doesn't really have to worry about the guy he's guarding. I thought Embiid kind of should have forced the issue there. Tried to draw a foul on Bam. He's usually pretty good at that, but I guess you can't argue with a nice pass. The right basketball play by Embiid, but I would have liked to see him go to the hoop and probably draw a foul on Bam, go to the line and make a couple of free throws, go to overtime.
And not too soon before that, didn't Bam shut his ass down on like a baseline jumper?
Yes.
He played him really well. Again, he's so physical, he's one of the rare guys in the league that can actually take a bit of a Joel Embiid hit and keep his ground and stay in the defensive play. And then, he blocked his shot on the baseline there. I forget how much time was left at that one, but maybe that was in his head still, hence the pass. But Harden had a good look and just missed it.
This was Eastern Conference ball. The game winner comes with 1:30 left in this game. Because
it was 19-17, I think, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It was. Joel, I thought this game was actually more poorly officiated than the other one. There's a lot of flopping in this one. Getting called, and they're getting calls, and that's the tweet of the night that we'll get to about referees, about flopping, etc. I mean, I'm going to bring that up. But anyway, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for some real good ref talk coming up.
Wow. Way to sell it. Don't go anywhere.
I mean, it's ref talk, so you got to sell it.
All right, just quickly here the other games. Some disappointing news for Hornets fans. LaMelo Ball fractured his ankle in the Hornets' 117-106 win. He was balling before this happened, too. He had hit 6 3-pointers. He had been on one hell of a run here, averaging 25, 11, and 8 over the last 5 games. All Charlotte wins as they suddenly string together the best part of their season. But down he goes, Tass. And he's had ankle injuries all season long. This is like the 4th time he's had an ankle injury, and this one very serious here with the fracture. Excuse me.
Very, very unique non-contact ankle injury. That he literally was just on his own. I mean, he kind of was dancing a little bit and then goes down. Very unfortunate, and it's not really even a stealth tank because they're sort of locked into the 4th worst record in the NBA, which would get them a 12.5% chance at the lottery. They can't even drop down to the bottom 3 because the other teams they're too far behind. Yeah, let's just hope LaMelo gets back for next season because this season he's not going to play again. Yeah, and as you said, a lot of ankle injuries. Throughout his career.
Yeah, Steve Clifford afterwards said that's just a basketball ankle.
I saw that.
That was a weird way to put it, but I mean, he wasn't doing anything. He was just doing a crossover. That ankle turned over. A little concerning, I would say, that it's the other ankle compared to it was his left ankle. And Melo's just had terrible luck this season. His left ankle, he stepped on a player's foot, not his fault. Also, second injury, stepped on a fan's foot, not his fault. Third time, got his foot stepped on, not his fault. This one, he was just dancing out there. So very strange. My only other takeaway from this game is came up with the worst what you got of the season.
Okay.
Which big man duo would you rather have? James Wiseman and Marvin Bagley, or Mark Williams and Nick Richards?
Wow. Ooh, that's
Pick
real
your poison.
sickos.
Yeah, that's a sickos only one right there.
I mean, Mark Williams is playing really, really well.
Yeah.
Obviously getting opportunity now that they've traded some of their big centers there, mainly Plumlee, so he's getting a good opportunity. And James Wiseman had a great game.
23-7.
You know, in the loss, but he was looking pretty fluid for a big guy, seeing why he was taken so high. I like both of those, you know, secondary guys you said there in the Bagman and Nick Richards. Ooh, I guess. Oh boy, I guess why? I don't know. I'm gonna go Wiseman and Bagley.
Yeah, so you're basically going Wiseman and Bagley, more of the potential that has not been fulfilled. A little bit older, a little bit.
You're hanging it on Wiseman for sure. Though I like Mark Williams, I think he's going to be a really solid center in this league. You can see why he was drafted so high.
Well, you can still hope for Bagley. I mean, he's been injured this entire season too.
Great game last night.
Yeah.
A monster game. Yeah, you got 2 20-point games from Wiseman and Bagley for the Detroit Pistons. In a game that means zip, zilch, zero here, getting on later in the season. Or you're going with the younger guys in the Mark Williams or the Nick Richards. Kind of want to cheer on the Hornets guys because you get a little bit more of the Eric Collins on the call. He yelled, "Mark Williams!" the other day, which was really, really fun. I don't know. I don't know who to take.
I mean, it's tough, man.
Get the poll up.
Keep you up all night.
Get that sicko poll up.
That's up, baby.
All right, awesome.
Yeah,
Get your votes
chime in.
We have 3 polls. Trey's killing it with the poll.
Day.
It's a poll day.
Nice.
Yesterday was a pun day.
Today's a poll day.
Yeah.
Final game last night. Paolo Banchero scored 29 as the Magic beat the Pelicans 101-93. Banchero just took over. Lay it down if you saw the highlights from this one or watched this game. He hit 3 clutch jumpers in the closing minutes. I loved how they came. Tie game, about 3:40 left. ISO'd on Ingram up top. Just sort of rocked into his dribble. Back and forth, got comfortable, splashed it. Tie game still, 1:40 left. He's got Herb Jones on him. Sort of same dribble pattern. Hits another jumper. And then the next Magic possession, Orlando was up 2. Banchero got the smaller Josh Richardson on him. Sort of took him to the free throw line area, spun, hit the jumper. So bang, bang, bang. And they get the victory over the Pelicans, who are, I mean, this season has completely just fallen apart. I know there's no Zion, but Ingram's playing, McCollum's playing. Magic are scrappy, but the losses just keep piling up here.
Yeah, you took us through all the important parts of this game, I think. Yeah. I got nothing to add. I got to be entirely, completely honest here. It is disappointing that even with the depth of the Pelicans, they can't beat it. It is a scrappy Magic bunch. There's no doubt. They're going to fight.
Markelle Fultz had another great game. If you're keeping
good.
track of such things, 14 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 30 minutes, shot 6 and 9. He's a plus 19, which led his team. So good things are happening when he's out there. But just to point this out, the Magic have 4 fewer wins than the Pelicans. The Pelicans are 7-20 since New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I saw Zilla writing in his newsletter, in this game, a brutal loss, 6 of 27 from deep. They lost the free throw battle. They lost the turnover battle. They lost the offensive rebounding battle.
Yeah, their offense is really bad. It's a struggle for them to score every single time. They have to work hard for every basket. Brandon Ingram, 8 for 19. CJ McCollum, 8 for 18. And all of their makes are like hand in the face because they have no three-point shooting. Went 6 of 27 last night, turned the ball over 17 times, and didn't score their final 4 possessions. Like, Brandon Ingram is an all-star kind of player, but there ain't nobody else out there with him. CJ, a weird season. Like, he's had some good stretches, I think, but he hasn't been quite good enough to pick up the slack in Zion's absence. And then everybody else out there, it's like a miracle if they actually make a shot. So, I don't know. The Magic, I didn't think were great on offense. Like, Paolo's takeover there at the end was pretty sweet, but he was kind of doing the same move every single time. Yeah. But at least they had a reliable guy to get buckets down the stretch, and the Pelicans did not. I think they've won 5 out of their last 20 games. They might miss the play-in. Yeah. It's quite possible, especially if Zion doesn't come back.
Quick trivia question. 30th game, Banchero has scored at least 20 points here as a rookie. That moved him ahead of who for the second most such games by a Magic rookie?
I saw.
Okay, go ahead.
moved him ahead in second.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so Shaq did it.
How many times did Shaq do it in his rookie season? That was going to be my follow-up trivia question. You already saw the stat. How many times?
I mean, he played
92, 93.
He had a good 45.
More. 60.
Wow, good
I
for
mean,
him.
He had a dominant rookie
That's pretty
season,
good.
Shaq did. He moved past, though.
Um,
Don't overthink it.
Penny?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Penny had 29 games where he scored 20 points in his rookie season.
Good for him. Good for Banchero. They've had a really, really good season when it comes down to it. I mean, we were just talking about...
It'd be awesome. Like, it's one of these things like, okay, take this into the start of next season, right? You know, with whatever else you get in the offseason, whatever other moves you make, continue this momentum, because so many times it feels like we'll see a team do this where they have a bad start, but maybe then get it going, and then everybody gets excited. Oh, this will be the year. Look what they did in the final couple months. And then nothing materializes. Though this has been at least such a sustained stretch that it feels a little more believable to me than the final 4 weeks of the regular season when nobody cares and you're playing teams that are sitting stars and stuff like that. They're like, oh, but they finished the season 10-5. Watch out for next year. This has been a good chunk of time here, and they obviously have some talent.
That was a different era when Shaq played. He played 81 games. They played all the games back then. That's impressive. Anyway, but also, yeah, we talked about at the beginning of the season, Magic or the Pistons. Who's going to have a better season here? It's clearly the Magic have done that, and I don't want to say it, but they're not too far from a play-in game. Play-in spot, I should say. Not too far, but anyway, a successful season nonetheless.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we're going to tell you the 8 or 9 must-watch NBA games as we hit the home stretch. Don't go anywhere.
Give me a round of applause if you love cereal.
Yes.
All right, all my cereal heads, stand up. If you serialsly love cereal, then you gotta holler at Magic Spoon. Y'all know what the spoon is about at this point. They've replicated your favorite childhood cereals to taste good, but each serving contains at most a single gram of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and 4 to 5 net grams of carbs per serving. It's a keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, and soy-free way to get your cereal on. Plus, it's only 140 calories a serving. It's like there's magic in every spoonful. I wonder if that's how they got the name.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. With over 8 unique flavors, you won't get bored of feeling good with Magic Spoon. Cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry muffin, maple waffle, honey nut, cookies and cream, and cinnamon roll, and oh yeah, birthday cake is back! As a recent birthday haver, you know I love that they brought it back, and let me say that it's back. Head to magicspoon.com/nodunks today to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try the magic for yourself. Use our promo code NODUNKS at checkout to save $5 off your order, and don't forget, Magic Spoon is so confident in their product that it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. If you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Get your next bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/nodunks and use the code NODUNKS to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this classic.
Thank you indeed. All right, here in the Classic Factory, if you're joining us live on YouTube, thank you. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. In fact, I was getting into it with John Schumann on Twitter yesterday. But according to Schumann, after 2 games are played tonight in the association, we are officially at the 3-quarter mark of the NBA season. A quarter left. That's it. You know, it's basically 21 games for a lot of these teams. So there's still a lot of games. We got Survivor coming back. You might be a golf fan. You might be watching the XFL, spring training in baseball, all your favorite shows. There's a lot of content, is my point. So you can't watch all the games. So we thought it'd be fun to hit you with the list of 8 or 9 games you got to circle on your calendar. And for reasons why, which we'll go into in detail here. I thought we could tackle them in way of the games coming at us. All right?
Chronological order.
Great idea.
Nice.
But then I thought that, and I was like, the first one is so dumb on my list that it's not a great way to start. But we're going chronological order anyway, because the first must-watch game, according to us, is tonight. Bulls-Raptors. No Dunks Bowl 3.0. This is the rubber match here. No, excuse me. I don't know if it is. Don't quote me on that. But it's a big game for us in our world, where our 2 teams are going at it. They're both trying to get into the play-in, and we are going to be watching it on playback tonight. is another reason to start this list with probably the worst game on the entire list.
Yeah, come watch it with us if you're watching this podcast on the Tuesday. But if you're watching this on the Wednesday or Thursday, you didn't miss anything in this game, I assume.
Well, you never look. Hey, Bulls are hot since getting Beverly. Raptors are hot since basically getting Pirtle. So
it's exciting to be, as a Raptors fan, to be excited about the play-in tournament. Got to be honest, play-in tournament's working.
This is a huge
game.
Huge matchup. Make sure to join us tonight because not only do we have Toronto versus Chicago, we also have the Hawks versus the Wizards.
Oh, jeez.
That's number 8 versus number 10. That's basically a small play-in tournament in its own right there.
Yeah, you're
Those
right.
4 teams.
And the Raptors, after they, fingers crossed, beat the Bulls tonight, they play the Wizards twice later this week.
Ooh.
So all of these games, you're right, Trey, where these teams that are trying to get into the play-in, these are huge, huge games against each other. All right, let's get to the real list. March 4th, 1 p.m., ABC. Oh, marquee game. Suns, Mavericks. KD versus Kyrie. Okay, we're getting KD back, hopefully, on March 1st. So that is tomorrow night, because February is basically done. They play Charlotte, they play Chicago, they play Dallas, the Suns do. And we then get this game. I'm talking about that Dallas Mavericks game. So I'm hoping that, like, because of, like, there's no back-to-back situation, that KD plays in this. I don't see why he really wouldn't. If he plays Wednesday in his first game with the Suns, maybe plays Friday there in Chicago, and then hopefully plays on Sunday versus the Mavericks. But just as of today, one game separates the Suns and Mavericks. So this is a big one. Like, obviously we have the KD Kyrie storyline that will, that'll be your pregame show on ABC, I'm sure. They'll heavily focus on that. But these two teams are jockeying for position, so this should be a big one.
And obviously they met in the playoffs last year. This is one of the better rivalries in the league already. Now you're throwing in 2 former teammates who are probably still friends and could join up on the same team again next season. Yeah, this one's a big one. Kevin Durant, I think, should rest against the Bulls. I mean, completely unselfishly, I think that he should take that game off so he can be fresh for this one.
What's his schedule? He plays
Friday night and then Saturday.
Oh yeah, and he's supposed to suit up for the first time Wednesday night, March 1st. That's the plan. So he should be raring to go. Yeah, probably on the Saturday. I agree with you. Not because I'm
on the
a
Saturday.
Bulls fan.
I thought it was a Sunday game. Do I have that right?
Oh, Sunday.
It's Sunday.
March 5th is Sunday. March 4th is Saturday. This game is March 5th.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay. This there. All right. Good thing you told. Good start. Yeah. Good point there, Trey. Because I had plans on the Saturday. This is going to work out great.
ABC,
I didn't have plans.
They don't usually give us day games on Saturday.
Yeah, but what was last?
That's all the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah.
But what did we get last Saturday? I thought
the
Philly Boston was the late game. Yeah, that's true. Anyway,
March
all right.
5th.
Back to back. They're gonna sit one game, and it's probably a night to day back to back. So you got to sit one of those for Kevin Durant.
Right. Maybe.
We don't know anything about scheduling. Sorry,
I know.
You do.
Well, I'm convinced I have every date wrong on this, so let's just keep going here. March 15th, who knows? 7:30 p.m. Eastern, ESPN, maybe. 76ers Cavs. Big game. This could be a tiebreaker for the 3rd seed. Both teams right now have exactly 39 wins. Though Cleveland has 4 more losses. They've played like a lot more games than Philadelphia here. So this is a rubber match. This is big. This one is. Late November, the Cavs crushed Philly, 113-85. There was no Harden. Mid-February, Philly got some revenge. They won by 6. So big game in terms of like who's potentially the 3rd seed, who's potentially the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. So I'm excited about this one, hopefully on March 15th.
Confirmed.
Good.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a schedule loss for the Cavs either, because they go on the road trip, and then they come back for this one game at the start of their homestand, which is always tough, as they say. But I think that last game you mentioned about the Sixers and the Cavs there, where the Sixers won by 6, Donovan Mitchell was bad to start that game. It was an ESPN game. The entire Cavs team was bad to start that game. So I think they remember stuff like that. The Stars remember stuff like that, where I had a bad game to start the game. He'll come out and play better, I think, to start that one, especially because it is a tiebreak, and the Sixers' schedule is so hard in March. 17 of 31 days they got to play. So that
makes sense. That's why Cleveland has 4 more losses. Sixers got some games to play here.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Sticking with the 76ers. 76ers Nuggets, March 27th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Currently on NBA TV. This is Jokic versus Embiid. Round 2. Fight for the MVP. Two best big men in the league going head-to-head for the final time here because they only played twice because they're in different conferences. Round 1, if you remember, if you're scoring it, it went to Embiid.
Oh, yeah.
And Philly. They picked up the 7-point home win against Denver. Embiid finished with 47, 18, and 5. That was probably his second, third, at worst, fourth best game of the season. It was one of his best games he's played in a season filled with them. Jokic, fairly pedestrian in that game. Still, because it's Jokic, it's still 24, 9, and 8. But he had a lot of turnovers, and they obviously lost the game. This one is now in Denver there on March 27th. So I don't think by any means this decides who wins MVP, but it would help Embiid's chances if he had another 47, 20-ish type game in a win in Denver. It'd definitely give him maybe another little tick there in the eyes of some voters. It's some, not all.
This one's for the MVP.
Wow.
This one 100% for the MVP because if Jokic outplays Embiid in this game, ain't no way Jokic recovers, or Embiid recovers from a narrative standpoint, but if Embiid outplays Jokic the way he did in their first matchup, you're going to hear the ball start rolling a little bit. That's why it's a bummer for Embiid that they lost that game against the Celtics when he hit the three-quarter court shot, because he played MVP basketball in that one. If he were able to then hit a 70-foot game-tying shot on that, take down the number 1 seed at the time in the Boston Celtics, I think that would have been a huge narrative step forward for Embiid because, it feels like Jokic has the MVP locked up. You look at Tim Bontemps' straw poll, he gets 77 out of 100 votes. That is a massive, massive advantage, but I don't think it should be so clear-cut. But Embiid basically needs to outplay Jokic in every matchup they have from here on out. He needs to outplay Giannis in every single matchup they have from here on out. And he has to, and the 76ers have to get wins with this really tough schedule they have coming down the stretch here. It's all certainly something that Embiid can do, but you saw the effort last night. Not a very hard-fought first half, I would say, from Embiid. And if he's trying to win the MVP this season, he has to do it every single night, every single half.
Yeah, and as I've said, those 17 games, I think 13 of them are on the road. It's not, or 12 at least, are on the road there in March. It ain't going to be easy. Mm-hmm. And Embiid has continuously said, I want to be healthy come postseason. So I imagine he's going to sit some of these games out. And that's why the Giannis MVP buzz can start to happen here, because there are obviously great candidates, and Jokic is the leader in the clubhouse right now. But when you got so many good candidates, I think the default check might go to Giannis Antetokounmpo if he's the first seed, and the Sixers, right now are the third seed, but could easily drop to fourth. After a tough March.
All right, our next game here that you got to watch, Celtics-Bucks, March 30th. TNT game. Starts that doubleheader that night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. This is quite possibly, who is the beast of the East? This is a real Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. Maybe Omos. I don't know. I think they're fighting at WrestleMania. But this is also the third beating.
Brock Lesnar is back?
He's always
been
back.
Man. Yeah,
I know he's been back.
But everybody's
doesn't
like,
he go away?
He's fighting Omos at WrestleMania. Everyone's like, why? It's just two giants.
Unfortunately, they just can't let Brock be on top all the time. He's the best big guy there is.
So anyway, we got a third meeting here between the Celtics-Bucks. Also a rubber match. Celtics waxed the Bucks on Christmas Day, 139-118. But the Bucks took the Valentine's Day rematch in overtime, 131-125. So I know what you're wondering. March 30th, it's got to be a holiday of sorts.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Because they played on Christmas?
Yep.
Played on Valentine's Day? Well, here are a couple holidays on March 30th. Doctor's Day.
Okay.
Thank you to our doctors.
This very popular day, grass is always browner on the other side of the fence day.
That ain't a day.
That's a day, according to nationaltoday.com. How dumb is that?
That's a day here in Georgia, in the South. We got brown grass. That's weird.
What else we got? We got National Fitness Recovery Day on March 30th. We got National Folding Laundry Day on March 30th.
I don't like the idea of National Fitness Recovery Day. Sounds like load management to me.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. We have National Pencil Day on March 30th. We have National Julia Day.
Julia?
Yeah,
The name?
that's right. It's also National Victoria Day. It's National Virtual Vacation Day. Literally put on an Oculus and go on vacation.
Okay.
Okay? It's National Wendy Day. Not Wendy's. Wendy. So
All of
same
them.
day as Julia. Same. So lots to celebrate here on March 30th. It's also Take a Walk in the Park Day.
I'll do that. I like that one, actually. Man, there's not even any good birthdays here.
Turkey Neck Soup Day.
Okay, here's something you can celebrate.
These are incredible.
It'll be MC Hammer's 61st birthday.
All right. Too legit to quit. Who is it? Okay, who will quit first?
What's the best birthday? Tracy Chapman? Fast car day?
Sure.
I'm going on a vacation in a fast car. We should take that day off.
March 30th?
Yeah, because a couple of us are already taking that day off.
Oh, all right.
We should take. It's a national vacation day.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, happy birthday, Tracy Chapman, and the Hammerman.
Celtics Bucks. That's a big game. Big game that could decide. And look, I mean, in all sincerity, like we went over this before. You really want the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. You want, especially the second and third seeds, be it whoever it is. Either it's the Bucks or the Celtics, and then very likely maybe the Sixers going at it in the second round. Let them take one of each other out. So that is a big game, March 30th. Okay, a couple other ones. March 31st. March 31st, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. NBA TV, Nuggets Suns. Because this could be, I know not record-wise, but like, we're going to see the Suns with KD. We'll have had some time a month later to really like go, oh, wow. Okay, they are good. Or not, we'll see the growing pains, but this could be a game where we're like, ooh, we're going to have a nice like measuring stick game here between who really is the best team in the Western Conference. I know Grizzlies fans will be upset with that. I know some other teams will be upset with that, but it could be is what I'm saying. So take your pencil on March 30th, National Pencil Day.
National Pencil Day.
Circle this one, 31st. Best in the West. Tass, what do you think?
I totally agree with you. You're going to get out the HB too and circle this game. I do think that the Suns will get it together. It's wild to think that through all their ups and downs this season, it just felt like they fell off a cliff. That they're above 500 and they're in the 4 seed, and the Kings have done a good job of shielding them off or holding them off for the 3rd seed. But yeah, this Suns team could come together real quick with Kevin Durant just filling a role. He's going to be so good on that team. It feels like.
All right, our next one here. It changed a little bit maybe after the LeBron injury news, but April 5th, Lakers Clippers. Russell's revenge. ESPN game. And again, hopefully LeBron's back at this point, but man, could it be set up that a Westbrook Clippers team could potentially, let's say, bury the Lakers, chances of a play-in game or chances of maybe somehow getting into the 60s, something like that. Could Russ get some sweet revenge?
I love it.
Could be a fun one.
I love it, and I think that people should do a Photoshop. I don't know who should do this.
Yeah.
Escape from L.A., starring Kurt Russell Westbrook.
All right. We got lots of time to work on it.
Yeah.
It's not till April 5th. Yeah.
Yeah, this one loses a little luster if LeBron is still out multiple weeks from now. It's a long time. He could be back. Obviously, this will be a big game for the Lakers. We shall see.
Couldn't you even argue, though, if LeBron wasn't playing in this game and the Lakers desperately needed this win, that Russ would be like, could have kept me.
Could have kept me.
No LeBron, no injury.
I've been doing it up here.
I've been dominating as a point guard. So anyway, fun game
sir.
there. Lakers Clips. All right. Final one and then a bonus one. April 7th, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's on League Pass. Warriors Kings. This is my best guess at the date that the Sacramento Kings officially lock in a playoff spot. And I'm not talking play-in, because I'm not really counting that. This will guarantee them, I'm trying to predict. Maybe it comes earlier, maybe it doesn't, but I'm going to say against the Warriors on April 7th that this officially snaps the Kings' 16-year playoff drought. That's big. You're going to light that beam. It's going to be lit even brighter that night.
They will lock it in at some point.
Yeah,
and that almost feels late.
I know, but then
because they're playing so freaking well.
There's so many teams,
and everything
not
is
that clear of a lot of teams.
That's
I'm
true.
talking 6 seed and above too to lock in.
They're 4 games up on 6 right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it happens before.
They have been hot, but yeah, I mean, it feels like it'll be a big game. It'll be a big game at least, I would imagine.
For the Warriors.
We still don't know what the Warriors are going to look like come playoff time, and they're certainly going to want to get out of the 7th seed to try and face the Kings in the first round, because I think the Kings will be the team that most teams want to play in the first round of the playoffs in the Western Conference, just because they haven't been there since kids started driving. So, yeah, big game.
Final one here. This is a bonus one. 2 games, actually. March 4th and 5th. Oh, maybe that's where I screwed up that one date. Both on League Pass, and it is the Spurs versus the Rockets. Tanks for the memories. It's the tank-off of all tank-offs. 2 games here between the 2 worst teams in the league, really. I know the Pistons are hanging around. Like, they want to have some say here, too. But I know this doesn't really change anything when it comes to your lottery odds, but who's going to have that worst record? 2 big ones, Tass. Again, they play back-to-back. 4th and 5th, Spurs Rocks.
Yeah, it doesn't change the odds because the top/bottom 3, however you look at it, have the exact same odds, and the Hornets, who are going to be 4th, aren't that far off. But I'd rather not have the worst record.
Right.
Yeah, because then it's so disappointing when you get the 2nd pick or the 3rd pick. It feels disappointing. I'd rather have the second worst.
Right,
you go in with lower expectations into that Tuesday in May where you have the draft lottery, and your team, your fan base can't be as disappointed.
Even though you're right, even though you'll have the exact same odds.
Yeah,
if you were the Pistons and had 2 more wins or 3 more wins than, let's say, the Spurs or the Rockets, but then you won it, you're like, oh damn, we did it. Even though you have the exact same odds. It's true.
Yeah, Rockets have had the worst record in the league the past 2 years and haven't drafted number 1 yet.
Right. So maybe they're going to be playing to win this. They can get out of the number 1.
I think so.
Yeah, so there you go.
A lot of points on the board either way.
Oh, yeah.
In this game, even in that Kings-Warriors game, not 2 great defenses.
No.
That'd be a lot of points that game.
Yeah.
Okay, there you are. Your must-watch NBA games as we hit the home stretch here. Did I miss any? Did I have any dates wrong? You let us know in the comments right now.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah, that's a botch job.
Don't worry about it.
I think that's what happened.
I
think that's what happened.
Who's to blame?
Well, I'm glad we got there because you kept saying the Saturday. I'm like, no, it's not Saturday, but that's why you were saying Saturday because it was March 4th. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Anyway, lots of great basketball still to be played, and we'll be talking about all of those games here on No Dunks. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, pick 'em results and an NBA referee-inspired tweet of the night.
There are a lot of vodka seltzers out there. A lot. A whole aisle dedicated to them at stores. You walk in a store, seltzer aisle. I want them separated even further. Real ones and fake ones. Because the fake ones are the ones I do not want. And neutral would be in the real section. There's a huge difference between the real ones and the fake ones. You can taste it when it hits your lips. Neutral is made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Yeah, real ones. That's my aisle. And they have great flavors. Neutral comes in 12 flavors. They got the fruits, pineapple, watermelon, raspberry, and mango. They got the lemonades, classic, peach, blackberry, and strawberry lemonade. And then they got the cranberries, which I know you like, Skeets. We got 4 cranberry flavors. Classic cran, grapefruit cran, apple cran, and orange cran.
That's a lot of cran.
That's a lot of cran. You're always hunting the cran around the Thanksgiving season, right?
Oh, yes. That and the raspberries.
Okay. Cran hunter.
Coming up on HGTV, Cran Hunter. A man just walks around the aisles trying to find cranberries.
Hey, it's hard to find here in the U.S. Yeah, that's why you're scrapping for it. Anyways, Neutral's got you covered. Neutral has a deliciously clean taste and light, refreshing flavor. It's the ultimate seltzer upgrade with real vodka and better taste. Have one during March Madness. Why the heck not? So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Check them out in the real aisle. You can hunt them there. Check them out on Instagram as well, at Neutral. Find Neutral in stores at your favorite bar or learn more at neutralusa.com. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut.
All right, back with your boys here in the Classic Factory. Pick 'em results last night. Celtics Knicks was the game. Boston, they were favored by 3.5. I talked myself into them. So did Trey. Tass, you had it right. You had the Knicks. I was pissed off with myself. I was going to take Knicks, and I just was like, nah, Tatum's due for a big game. He's been struggling as of late. That line was a little weird to begin with. I was like, what do they know?
Then Jalen sat.
Yeah, and Jalen
The
sat,
Brown,
didn't help.
not the Brunson.
But yeah, you got the win. You're 6-9. Nice. I'm 5-10. Trace 8-7 in February, which ends tonight. Tass, what's our game?
Well, of course, join us for Bulls Raptors on playback, but otherwise, I picked Quinn Snyder's debut as head coach of the Atlanta Hawks, hosting the Washington Wizards in Atlanta, favored by a big number, 6.5 points. But Trey and I, no problem. The Quinn Snyder regime starts now. They'll win by 7 or more. Well, you got the Wiz with 6 points to play with.
Yeah,
That's nice.
That's part of it. But
Why are they favored by 6.5?
You know, it's. I mean, well, the Wizards are not good.
Yeah, but they're pretty even teams. I mean, they're not that far off from each other.
Hawks have better vibes than the Wizards
yeah.
do right now. You can't beat the Hawks after they fire a coach. They did it twice somehow in the past couple of weeks
fired
here.
Prunty, but
Yeah, and I watched Bulls Wizards over the weekend, and the Wizards looked beat. They looked like a sad team.
Sort of a 1-2-3 Cancun vibe.
100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a huge line, and the Hawks are not a reliable team in any way, shape, or form.
They sometimes struggle to put teams away. The
Yes,
Hawks do.
sure.
Even if they are sort of like, for the most part, dominating a game, they'll let teams hang around. We saw it against the Nets the other night.
Yeah, I'm relying on the coach bump from Quinn Snyder in there in the coach seat for the first time. The super villain, as everyone always calls him. Pablo Torre also calls him, or says that he looks like he calls Batman the Batman,
Oh, for sure.
which is really, really good. They're playing the Wizards. Could he ever be a wizard? Could he play a wizard? Or does he not have a wizard?
Are you saying could Quinn Snyder
he
pull
could
off a wizard look?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah, because he can pull off a supervillain. I mean, yeah, I didn't set that up great, but okay, he's not a
Younger
wizard.
wizard.
Okay, yeah.
Younger
you can do
wizard,
it.
yeah. Put a little hoodie on him, and you can pull it off.
All right, let's get to tweet of the night.
Tweet of the night. Wow.
Twitter.
I feel like this tweet of the night has been teased more than any tweet of the night we've ever had before. It's from Phil Beckner, who says, "Reasons you wouldn't make a good referee." Let's hear them. Pretty simple. I got 3, personally.
Okay.
Number 1, I'm not a snitch.
That's a good one.
If you're doing something wrong, fine by me. Number 2, I'm always rooting for the offense.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, that's a foul on the defense every single time. But the biggest reason I think I would be bad at the referee is because I would be influenced by the hand signals. Travel. Too much fun to call.
Right.
And the worst one, the charge?
Yeah.
Come on. They should not have made the charge an exciting signal because that's why you want to call it. Like, I mean, the block is okay, but a charge is so emphatic. So that's it for me. I don't know about y'all. Why would you be bad at reffing?
Will there be a day where a referee calls a charge and then busts into the sprinkler? Because it seems like a logical step.
You would think so.
Yeah, when we've seen some like you just danced right here right now. It's like it feels like a dance.
It
Joey
feels like-
Crawford.
Well,
Dance a little bit.
Joey would do that. Yeah, the
Yeah.
block, he'd step into it.
Yeah.
I would not be a good referee. I'm too human. Referees are robots, right? Like,
Yeah.
they pretend like they see everything with their robotic eyes. I mean, I can't see this. This stuff is moving way too fast. Also, like, I listen to people. I'm gullible. Like, if Luca comes over and is like, I didn't foul, I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'll empathize. I'm way too human. These guys, these guys and gals out there, they're not real. They're not real people. They're robots.
If you were a referee, an NBA referee, I guarantee you the NBA would not be the fastest of the 4 major sports. I just thought of Tass Mellis at the, looking at the
review
monitor, at the review table, taking his sweet-ass time.
How dare you?
Oh, my God. I could see that taking a while. I would be a bad referee, too. But I was trying to think, like, why? And so I asked Nora this question. I was like, at first I was like, do you think I'd be a good referee? She's like, no. And then I was like, okay, why? She's like, you're too chatty. Ooh. You would be like Nick Kroll's character, Ref Jeff. And I was like, what? She's like, you never seen Ref Jeff? I hadn't, but I think that's what I would be doing out there.
Chatting him up? Yeah. Oh, that's a big shot.
I love when
the coach is
he's
pretty
got the whistle in his mouth going, I'm behind you, and it's sort of half whistling.
And sticking his butt out.
Yeah, there it is.
Good.
All right, so what are the reasons you wouldn't make a good referee? Let's hear them right now on the stream team or tweet at us at No Dunks Inc. Good tweet there from Phil Beckner.
Thanks, Phil.
Sounds like a referee.
It does. It does.
Is he? All right, let's call it there, guys. Fun show here. Join us tonight on Playback, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It's the Bulls Raptors No Dunks Bowl 3.0. We'll be watching that one together. I'm going to be there for a part of it. I'm going to have to dip out and then hopefully get back. I'm doing another podcast tonight where I'm drafting, get this, Trey, the best NBA fits on indie basketball tonight against a bunch of other people.
I hope I go first round.
You think I should just swerve and take you? Well, but it has to be not the person, it has to be a specific look. So what's your best look ever?
This one.
This shirt?
Yeah. Whatever I have on
is your best fit. Your most recent fit is
That's
your best
right.
fit.
That's
All right.
right.
Well, maybe I'll draft you. I think you're going to be there in the later rounds.
It would be a reach. It would be a reach, but you would be like Sam Presti taking Russell Westbrook number 4. People said, "Wow, that's a surprising call." A guy became an MVP.
Jeez. All right. We'll see. Do you have any suggestions who I should take? Again, specific NBA fits.
Specific NBA fits.
Like, I assume someone's
Kuzma
going Kuzma's pink sweater.
Kuzma
Yeah.
will go. Harden's balaclava thing will go.
Right.
I don't know. Just go basic. Just go wild and go with Jared Allen, like an Old Navy outfit, like he
They won't
tends
see it
to wear.
coming.
You know who I'm taking? I'm taking Bruce Brown, Cowboy Bruce Brown.
Cowboy Bruce.
Because he's got the stash and it looks so
stash is
good.
nice.
So good. We'll see if he's there in the final rounds. Anyway, tonight, Playback, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I will make sure to get that link in the show notes. I don't think I have it in there right yet, but I will in mere seconds. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow here in the Classic Factory. Oh, no, wait. We're not here in the Classic Factory tomorrow. We're in the yard because JD's getting a window installed. And it's going to be too loud? Is that the reason?
Yeah, the window is right above us.
Okay.
So there's a lot of banging and clanging,
Walking and stomping.
walking, talking,
Okay.
a lot of yelling.
So we're in the yard.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have hired Lil Jon as your contractor.
Well, it was supposed to happen on the Saturday we were in Utah. And then it was like -2 Celsius here.
No, I'm good
And
doing
this
it.
is you know what happened? Rachel's like, she texted them and said, "Hey, Roberto, it's pretty cold. Are you sure you want to do this?" He's like, "No, not really." And then
so she
and I
gave
was
him
like,
an out.
"What are you doing?
Yeah.
These guys are tough as nails. They're fine." Anyways, so it has to happen tomorrow.
All right, so we're in the yard tomorrow. Don't worry, we have a show. 10 a.m. Eastern. Join us then. Make sure you like and subscribe. Till tomorrow. Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, Skeets will be at Playback tonight. Unlike the other day, you said you were coming, but you didn't show
Dinner
up.
went long, Tass.
Oh, but you're a guy who gets up as soon as the main course is served.
I actually even had a dessert that night.
Good for you.
It was a
man. Way to
Valentine's
enjoy
Day,
it.
belated Valentine's Day dinner for sure.
Way to
And
kill
Boca
the.
Lupo. Oh, what up? Haven't been there.
Can
in
you
a
say
while.
Boca Lupo again?
Boca Lupo?
Sounds like you got food in your mouth.
So good. I do. It's that delicious. I'll be there for a little bit, and then I'll bounce, like I said, and then I'll come back.
You don't have to come back.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll be there.
You know what? This draft's gonna take hours.
Oh, that's true.
A draft always takes longer than you think. I'm looking forward to it. All right, indie basketball, a little plug there for those guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Embrace the day, people.